Welcome back to another episode of Cats Out the Bag. I'm your girl, Kat. Today is going to be a little bit of a different episode, a little bit more heavy. We're doing a two-part series on grief, and I'm here with three other women that have kind of been through similar circumstances, but everybody's deal and like path with grief is a little bit different. Um, we're going to be talking about like the stages of grief and like beyond the textbook versions, and like we'll share how we coped with it, what broke us, what we learned from it, like if we had any like problems with other people, cuz everybody deals with it in different ways, and we like to well, at least I do. I like to kind of see how like the love will show up even after the death has happened, and like the death for me is very fresh, and for like my other co-host today, it's very fresh. Um, but if you're grieving and if you've ever felt like misunderstood in your grief and you need somewhere to like look, we're not like therapists, but we're here and you could listen to this and find a little bit of guidance. We're human. I have an associate's degree.
I'm a KSAC.
Yeah.
So I kind of am
Yeah.
a therapist.
Yeah.
You're a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I try my best.
So today I'm here welcomed by two new people, and I have Boogie here. You guys know her already. You've met Jess, and this is Marissa. So we're gonna kind of lightly touch on each of our people that have passed, and then we're gonna get into some questions. So for the people that don't know you, Marissa, tell them a little bit about yourself.
That's like a long one. I'm Marissa. I am 32 years old. I am married. Um, I've known Kat since we were 12 years old. We went to school together. What else? I'm a business owner. I feel like I do so many things, literally. And that's basically it. I just feel like ever since like my little like grief, like going through it, I feel like I'm such a changed person. So I feel like who I was and who I am now is totally different. So all the people that think that they know me, if they're watching, you don't anymore.
You have no idea.
Exactly.
And Jess, for the people that don't, if you didn't watch her episode already, tell them a little bit about you.
I'm Jess. I'm also 32 years old. Mom of four, all girls. And yeah, I think my episode kind of gave a lot about me. So I urge you to go back.
Yeah.
Click.
I
watch
will
that
link
one.
it down below on both of the episodes. And Boogie? I need no introduction. So I'm gonna start here, and then I'll work around the room, and I'll end with myself. What was a moment? What was the moment like it hit you, and that like the loss was real? What was the moment when it hit you that like the loss was real? Um, so being in the medical field, you have a different. You can hear me good. How about now? Put it better. Is my mic on? Talk into it. Hello. How about now? No.
No. Oh wait, I just heard you laugh.
I'm loud though in
There
person.
we
No,
go.
you're good.
Oh, it's going?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so being in the medical field, you are just privy to knowledge that regular people aren't, right? So you hear certain terms, you hear certain codes, you hear a description of a person, and you kind of know the pathway that that's going, right? So I'm talking about my stepfather. He died from a massive heart attack, unexpected, right? So tragic. I got a phone call in the middle of the night and I picked it up, and all my mom was able to get out was he's not breathing and she's screaming, and they're in Florida. I'm the only one in the medical field. So I knew when I'm yelling through the phone, telling my sister how to perform CPR, and I'm asking her questions, right? So I knew the scene that she was describing to me that he was gone. I just didn't have the heart to tell them that he was gone. But I knew right then and there.
Right.
So that sunk in pretty quick for me. And then I ended up being the one who made the call to stop all the way from New York, just because I knew from in the house that he was gone.
Mm-hmm. Did they continue doing it when they arrived, or you
Yep.
made that call before?
Nope, they continued. I knew that my mom and my sister needed to see that, as sad as it sounds, because I don't want my sister to ever feel like what she did wasn't enough. And I commend her all the time, because if you ever done CPR, it's really emotionally taxing. But doing it on somebody you love is just like, I can't even. I did it on one of my sister's friends who OD'd and came into the ER, and I was at work, and I did it for as long as I could, and then I had to tap out because I'm like hysterical crying doing CPR on this kid that I watched grow up, right?
Right.
So I can't even imagine having to do it on your own father. So, I just didn't. They took him to the hospital, and they were still doing CPR, and then I heard the doctors over the phone line, and I already knew what was coming. And I said, you guys got to make a decision. Like, I'm not there. And they both are like, I can't. And I said, all right, put me on the phone with the doctor. And I called it.
How
So
was that? That was rough for you from being so far away from them and that happening.
it was rough. And the older sister, first daughter guilt I had being in the medical field was crazy. I think that's what drowned me first, because I can't take that away from her. And I wish that I
Right.
could. Like, not saying that I'm stronger in any kind of capacity, but I feel like I would have been able to compartmentalize and process that, and where I feel like she's scarred. And
Right.
that kills me as her older sister, and that kills me that my mom had to see that.
Right.
There's nothing I could do. That's part of the grieving. We've had a lot of conversations about it, and my whole thing is I try to make sure and I maintain the narrative for her that, like, that's special. Like, a lot of people cannot say that they perform CPR on their loved one and try to resuscitate them. Like,
Right.
you need to look at it as that's precious. I know you can't see it, but that's like a moment that, like, no one wants to experience it, but you should really be proud of yourself. And I
Right.
just kind of keep trying to drill that. But I do feel bad because I know she's scarred from it. And I
Right.
think that I would have been able to just handle it different.
I'm sure it's definitely like a very hard situation. I can only imagine going through something like that. So, Marissa.
I feel like it hits me where like I feel like it's real every couple like weeks or month. Like just this Monday, I think even though my mom has been passed for 9 months, I think it really hit me on Monday. And it's crazy because I feel like other times it would hit me and be like, wow, like I went to go call her and like the fuck, she's not here. But on Monday, I went for my 11-week sonogram with my husband, and we heard the heartbeat for the first time. And I got in the car, and I texted my aunt, and I texted my sister, and I went to go text my mom, like literally not thinking that she was passed. I was like, fuck, I gotta send this to mom. And I'm in the car, he's pumping gas, and I literally send it to her, and I see all the green text messages. I was like, and it just like hit me. I was like, fuck. And then literally from 6 o'clock on, I was hysterical crying for like 3 hours. And I was like, it hasn't hit me this hard since probably the day that I found out I was pregnant and I couldn't call her.
Right.
But like, it's like when big monumental things, like, my sister and I just bought a house together. We bought a mother-daughter house. And it's something that my mom would have wanted for us. But like big monumental things, that's when it hits me. Other days, I'm in denial. I'm in denial every fucking day. I'm angry and I'm in denial.
Yeah.
And like, kind of like based off of what you were saying, being the older sister, I'm the younger sister. So like for my mom, and I know my sister, she's in the medical field and she feels the same exact way. So my mom, she had stage 4 lung cancer, but she didn't pass from that. It spread and she had leptomeningeal, which is non-curable, and it goes to your brain and your spine. My mom was basically paralyzed for the last 3 months of her life, and I was taking care of her every day. Like, there was no nurse. There was me and my family members back and forth from Florida, who was coming, who was staying, like, and my sister tells me all the time, like, she's so proud of me. All of us did it. Like, I never thought I'd have to change my mom and bathe my mom. Like, she was 62 years old. Like, I never thought I'd have to do that. And my sister would tell me all the time how proud she was of me that I was able to, like, they used to call me bad cop because I'd make her eat. I'd make her do all the things. Like, I turned strong the minute I saw her. The minute I got in my car and left Shirley, hysterical crying. But she would tell me all the time how proud she was of me because she handles her emotions better than me. And I think it's the older sister. She's in the medical field. She's seen it. She knows that me, I could, like, break at any point. But she was like, what you did for mom, like, that's something that you should always be so thankful for, that you got to do that for her.
Right.
So I fight that battle a little bit. Like, I'm mad that I had to, but I'm like, thank God it was me. I wouldn't want a stranger touching her. She's my mom.
Right.
But it hits me so differently, literally like once a month.
Mhm.
But every other day is denial and anger, unfortunately.
Yeah. What about you, Jess?
Yeah.
Okay. I mentioned this last time I spoke about this, but I think it really hit me. I was told in the hospital I was in full blown labor, and I went thinking I was going to have a baby, and you know, it was better.
Mhm.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah.
It was kind of nurse after nurse, doctor after doctor that came in, and I'm like screaming in labor, and they were like, "I'm sorry, the baby's not alive." And I was like, what? And I just kept screaming, like, this is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie, like screaming. And then I was like, what happened? And they were like, we don't know. Like, did you do genetic testing? Did you like, we don't know. You still have to give birth. So I got an epidural, and it was very quick that I gave birth right after. And I just, obviously post epidural, I felt less physical pain. And I just kept thinking, like, there's definitely, like, what if there's a chance, that she comes out and she's alive, and, like, what if they're wrong, and I was just we all sat in silence for hours. But I think it truly hit me when I finally gave birth. And then, like you said, it hits you a lot over and over and over and over again when you realize, like, this is actually your reality. But the very first time it hit me was when I met her.
Yeah. I mean, that's as real as it gets.
Yeah.
I can't even.
I can't,
all
yeah.
these stories are.
It's just like,
Okay, it's me. I don't even remember my own question.
when did
it hit you?
I literally just heard your story, and I'm like, why am I on this panel? Because nothing I can't imagine would compare to that.
Horrendous. I don't wish
Yeah.
it on my worst enemy. I have a few.
Same.
Well, props to you that you are dressed and you look gorgeous and you function every day. No, I'm being serious because
Mhm.
people don't realize, like, I laid in bed, a dirt ball,
Mm-hmm.
for almost a month.
And you were so valid in that too.
Absolutely.
Like,
Well, I can't
seriously,
imagine
yeah.
having other kids. That's why I'm like,
Yeah.
like, that's just, I say it all the time. Women are just a different breed. Men could never.
Mm-hmm.
That is all you.
I think my kids save me every day, because if I didn't have them, I wouldn't really have much of a
Right.
reason,
Mhm.
So, but I have to, like, put on the show, like, show goes on. I gotta get up.
Fake it till you
So-
make it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Come over here, like, all right, well.
So when was it real for me? So where was I? So from the moment I woke up, I also took care of my dad. He was very sick, and he suffered with alcoholism for a long time, and then was like just battling other health concerns on top of it. So I was his caretaker. And I was just there Monday, and this was on Thursday, and I woke up Thursday morning with massive anxiety. I hadn't talked to him or anything. Like, I just woke up with massive anxiety. I had to go to my own doctor's appointment, and I go to Melissa's house, and I'm there, and I'm like, she's like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I don't know. I just have the worst anxiety. Like, it's unbelievable the amount of anxiety I had. There was no reason for it, too. Like, it was just random. So I was like, I need to take a shower at your house. Like, I need to, like, decompress or something. So I take a shower. I'm laying in there. She keeps coming in. She's like checking on me, and she's like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. So I like get dressed again. I go to my doctor's appointment. I get a flat tire, and I'm just having like a emotionally hard day for some reason. I go to the doctor's appointment. It's fine. I get home. My friend actually gave me a gift, this like nice blanket from like Gilmore Girls. It's like I was so excited about it. I do a TikTok. I stop the TikTok, post it, and I get a phone call from my mom screaming, saying my dad's dead. And then I'm like, no, he's not, because he's sick all the time. So I was like, whoever found him probably just doesn't know, like he gets sick. Like
Or he's unconscious.
or he's
Yeah.
unconscious. And I
Mhm.
was like, no, I deal with this all the time. And I was supposed to go there that morning. Like I would have been the one to find him. But his friend just happened to go there for whatever reason. I guess the Lord.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's like, we're coming. And Ben's like walking into his own doctor's appointment. And I call him and I'm like, you have to leave the waiting room. And he was like, why? And I was like, my dad's dead. And then he was like, I didn't hear you right. What are you talking
I feel like that's how
about?"
you spoke for a
Yeah.
couple days.
Yeah. And he was like, no. I was like, very serious still. Nothing hit me. I was like,
Mhm.
because I'm in the medical field,
Yeah.
I handled it so well and I didn't shed a tear or do anything until I could confirm it with my own eyes. So then we get there finally, and then the EMTs, of course, won't let us in the house now. So I was like, why aren't they letting us in and all this stuff? We're waiting out there. Meanwhile, my mom's like shaking in the driveway. They won't let her in to see her husband. We were like, we don't care what he looks like. Like just let us in.
Yeah.
So they said no. They at one point weren't gonna. And then finally they were like, right before we zip him up, you can come in. So then
Jesus Christ.
we go in there. We saw him. And like I've seen hundreds of dead bodies before. And when it's like your own family member, it's
Very
a little
different.
bit, it's very different.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least like I've seen my grandma and other people dead before,
Yeah.
and because I cared for my grandma in the same house. So, but when it was him, and then I saw like the state that the living room was in and everything, it was like a little bit more hard. And he like died holding a picture of me in his hand, and it was like shredded, not shredded, but like crumbled up
Crumbled.
on the couch right next to him. So I was like, even then, I didn't cry. I was like, I need a cigarette. I haven't
Oh.
smoked in years, but I was like, I need a
Same.
cig. I need a cig and like all this stuff. And like the people are just like rummaging around taking pictures of stuff. And it was like very high anxiety. And then like the next day when we were at my mom's like other apartment, everyone's like coming in. And like I was like tearing and crying a little bit. And then like I just got really, really angry. And I was just like, you know, I feel so shorted because he's going to miss like so many milestones in my life.
Mhm.
And it's not
Like you were
fair.
robbed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
I'm not. That's just like when it hit me then. It was like 2 days later. And then like the same thing you said, like it continues to hit you. Like
Different points.
it's always close to the death date.
Oh, always.
Always close to the death date.
Yep.
Like randomly, like we spread his ashes. I cried then, like not while I was spreading it, not like preparing for it, but like by myself in my room. Because I always have like the idea in my head that like because I did everything, like I was cleaning that house out a day after he was dead, like not getting rid of his stuff, but
Same.
everything was packed, everything was clean because I had to like be strong for other people around me, even though they weren't doing the same for me.
Mhm.
No one in particular, if you're watching this
No.
family.
Yeah, same.
This isn't like a
No.
That's a good example, though, of how different people handle grief. Some people
Yeah.
want to clean the space, and some people are like, "Don't touch it."
Mhm.
Well,
Mhm,
it's like I was like two sides because like I wanted to clean it, but I wanted to preserve it. So
Mhm.
like we were like getting ready to like help my mom finally put it into sale like 2 weeks later because
Mhm.
she was like deciding like I don't want to live there anymore.
I don't.
And when we went to like throw some of the stuff out to try and fix it up for her to see if maybe she did want to go back in, like my one older brother, he was grieving in his own way and went in and started just throwing stuff out, and I came in and started bugging the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
He like went to get rid of the picture and everything, like the couch, the whole
no.
setup, and I was like, and he was like, "What are you grieving?" And I was like, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here, like get
Yeah.
out."
Yeah.
Mhm.
But he was also grieving,
It's just
Mhm.
different.
and
Yeah.
like I now in like the moment I feel bad like for how I reacted on him, but like I was grieving. And
Mhm.
I needed people that were going to be patient with me at the time
And
Totally.
still,
because
Today.
I don't cry a lot. So like
Yeah.
if you can see, I am a little emotional, watch your step.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts.
She's coming. So the next question: Did anyone did did anything feel like surreal or out of body in like the first couple weeks?
Um, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I feel like so I'm religious, but I'm also more spiritual. But my stepdad wasn't spiritual. Like he just went along with our Puerto Rican ways. So like it's funny like that because I also feel like my sister's half and half, and I'm just full blown more like my mom. Um, but I didn't sense him or feel anything for a long time until I think I recently told you, right? I had a dream, not that I mean it was a couple months now, but I had a dream where I was like running from something and I rounded a staircase and he was there and just like caught me and hugged me, and that was the first time I like seen him or like felt him. Um I hate this podcast. Motherfucker. So like but I felt at peace. Like I was
Mhm.
like, all right, like it's been weird, like no presence, no nothing, no feelings. And then I just was like, I remember waking up, like I woke up out of my sleep like sobbing, right? And I was just like you're okay. Like
Mhm.
that's what I felt like when I woke up. I was
Yeah.
like, thank you for that. Like you're okay. So then, I called my mom and my sister because we believe that when someone passes, they don't necessarily always come around right away because they've unfinished business, right?
Mhm.
They got to tie up their loose ends. And usually when they do, it's to let you know they're crossing over. That's just my belief.
Mhm.
Um, so, they come to different people in different times. And I feel like I might have been like way down on his list. But that could be my own guilt because like we did argue a couple months before he passed. So like I don't think it's that though. I think probably he thought if anything that I would be
Strong
all
enough to
right,
wait.
right,
Mhm.
with the waiting and not question where he was. Um, but I had like I still have a little bit of anxiety of like phone calls in the middle of the night now. Like I didn't. I mean, I always kind of did. My sister's a type 1 diabetic, right? So like I could be dead asleep. No pun. Like that was terrible. I don't know why I said that. But I could be out cold. And like if my phone rings, I will answer it. I'll sleep through text messages. I'll sleep through alarms. But like my ringtone, I will answer from Brittany. But now it's there's like fear attached to it, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. Where it wasn't fear before, even though it kind of should have been fear, but it wasn't fear. I don't know how to describe that properly. But now it's like now when I answer the phone, I'm like, oh fuck, like because I'll never forget that. Like I will never forget my mom screaming, just like you'll never forget your mom screaming.
Right.
Yep.
It's just a different kind of guttural scream. Like it's just. But no, yeah, I didn't have anything immediate.
What about you?
Um, I don't know if it was like outer body, but
More of like a surreal feeling. Like
so I watched my mom take her last breath. She was in one of those like hospital beds in the house.
Mhm.
And I watched her. I even gave her a million kisses after she did pass. And she passed on a Thursday, the 7th, the week after we had her wake because we had family coming in from out of state. And then my girlfriend and my cousin were like, we just please come with us to Florida, like next week after mom's mass and everything. Like, you need to just take a break, get away, because my other cousin lived there. I was like, I really don't want to. I was like, I just want to stay in my bed. And I was like, but I know if I do, I'm just going to be more depressed. So they're like, just please come. So I went, and it was our second day there. And my mom always loved when I wore my hair natural, and we both loved like cheetah print. Like, so I'm like wearing this like cheetah skirt. My hair is like natural, like crazy. And we go out to dinner, and then we go around, and there's like this cute pink little like candy shop, and it's like bright pink. And right next to it is like a CBD place, and they're blasting Tyga, like you couldn't even hear yourself think. So I'm standing, and I tell my girlfriend, I was like, I want a picture here. It's pink, and I'm wearing cheetah. That's super cute. I stand in the corner, and all of a sudden, I hear like the faintest thing, like no one else could hear it because, mind you, Tyga is blasting. Cher, if I could turn back time, my mom loved Cher so much. Like me and her would sit in the car and like scream the song. and I heard it, and I was like, the second I heard it, I didn't get my picture. I was pissed. The second I heard it, I just started hysterical crying, and I walked away, and I was like, okay. That night I went to sleep, and she came to me in my dream, and it was so real. She hugged me. We were like at, I think, my mom's house, and we were like in the backyard walking around, and I'm like, but you're here, you look great, like I can't even believe it. And we're just like talking. I was like, she's like, I have to go, I can't stay long. And I was like, okay, like, can I just have a hug? And I like knew she passed, but like I knew I was talking to her, and she gave me like the biggest hug, and I like woke up, and I like felt her come off of me. And that's probably the only time I felt like something like outer body, I guess you can say, because I knew, like, I know it was her. I'm religious and I'm spiritual, and my mom was the same exact way. I literally go see a psychic medium once a month. Um, and I know for a fact it was her. Like, I just, like, I felt her, I saw her, she like disappeared and came back. And because it was new for her, it was only 2 weeks since she passed. So she
That
didn't
was
like,
quick.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that she needed to come to me because she still hasn't come to my sister, but she sent my sister a lot of signs, and my Tiana's pissed. And I'm like, T, she'll come to you, like it, like, but it's the same thing. She's strong enough to wait, and I just wasn't. And I think she knew, like, I just needed my mom. So that would be the only probably thing. I wish she would come to me like once a week, but it'd probably fuck me up.
Yeah.
So.
Jesus. I'm gonna be crying after everything you guys say. I have two answers to this. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
I'm fucked up.
So, did anything
Surreal,
feel
out of
surreal or like out of body within the first couple of days?
So, when you give birth to a stillborn baby, why is my thing doing this? Should I go like this?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. When you give birth to a stillborn baby, you have all of the postpartum effects. Am I good? Okay. You still have all of the postpartum effects. So, my milk came in, right? You have to stop your milk. You still have given birth. So, you're bleeding. You don't feel great. Obviously, like, just like everything hurts, and there's also more risk for infection, which, was freaking everybody but me out. But, there was that. So, I mean, your body's basically like a tomb. So there was that. But if we're talking about signs and being surreal and stuff, like, I struggle with this a lot because, parents, sisters, brothers, grandparents, people that like cared for you, I would think they would want to come and visit you, right? And like, I was supposed to be the one to take care of her. So like, how could she, like, it's not up to her to visit me,
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way I feel. And she's a baby, so I don't know if maybe I'm just not open to it, but I don't get signs from her. I get signs from my grandma. She's a red bird in my backyard at all times. Like, it doesn't matter. It could be winter, summer, spring, fall. She's the red bird in my backyard. I know that for a fact, but for Isla, like, I don't know if that's her job
Mm-hmm.
to visit me. It's my job to take care of her.
Right.
So I guess
wouldn't
no.
be surprised if signs that you associate with other people start showing up in twos.
Right.
Well, like,
Like when you have two red birds in your backyard.
yeah, like, a lot of my friends will send me, Isla things all over, and they'll be like, this is a sign and that is a sign, and I'm like, why the fuck would she give you a sign? Stuff, she don't fucking know you. She knows me. I'm the only one she knows.
Yeah.
So like, I don't. That makes me angry sometimes. When people
Yeah.
are like, oh, I got this sign from her.
Mhm.
I'm like, you
No, you
literally
didn't.
did not. No, you didn't. That's just her name
right.
on a wall somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a sign.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it is, and it's just me not being open, but I don't know.
I think she'll come through in her own way, one way or another.
And try
There's
to
a
be more
lot of,
open
like,
to it.
There's a lot of really like conflicting information too. you know, when it comes to stillborn babies that like were not born, right? Whether you're religious, spiritual, whatever, like you go see a psychic medium. Some people say that I literally went to a psychic medium and left so angry because he said that stillborn babies are recycled. Like that was his exact words. I was like,
I would have set him on fire.
I was like, okay.
No.
Okay. And then, you know, like when you're talking about like the church, stillborn babies were never baptized. So you have to then pray that your baby is going to heaven and not fucking hell and purgatory. Like, what? I had
Yeah.
a priest come in and, you know, my mom also had a stillborn baby and this really fucked her up because she was like a very devout Catholic, my mom and my dad. And when she had her stillborn, she said, I want him baptized. Like, I want to make sure that he's going to heaven. And they said, we can't baptize him. He was never born. And she's like, what do you mean he was never born? We're taught that life begins at conception. And what do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
But as a Catholic, you have to pray that God has mercy on all of his children, right? And that he is going to bring them to heaven, even if they're not baptized. So, like, it's just, like, so much conflicting information. I'm, like, in the middle of my own, like, spiritual, religious findings of my own. Like,
Yeah,
I
are you
have
still
to find my
Catholic?
own. So, what's really interesting is I grew up, my grandma would sneak me to church because after my parents had their loss, right? They were so devout that they were like, "Oh my God, we need to change religions immediately." So I grew up going to a private like Christian school, and it was not a Catholic school. And my grandma thought that my parents were in a cult. So she would sneak me to church,
Sounds
and
like
she
your
would be like,
grandma.
"This is she would be like, this is like where you're supposed to be." So I know.
Yeah.
I know all the things about the Catholic Church I just wasn't supposed to.
Listen
you know?
to this and not your parents.
I swear to God. So, I've always had like whatever religious background, but you know, my parents always felt like I need you to make your own decisions when it comes to religion, and that's amazing. But as I was going through my own grief, I just wished that I could cling to something. Like I didn't. I wish I can cling to a belief.
Right.
I don't have one. And it makes me even more angry that I don't believe in anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I supposed to believe? And now I'm like looking for all of this information, and I don't. There's so much that you could take in,
Right.
you know, and yeah. So I'm in the middle of it.
Did you feel that way prior? That you didn't
No.
believe in anything?
No.
No, this made
Mm-mm.
you question
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I've always
You're
You
not
know.
finding comfort in any of the answers.
no.
Mm-hmm.
And
No,
this, I mean,
I feel
that
like that's
kind of
believing.
experience really changes you.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah. Everyone will always say, like, you know, if you know me, you know that it's not like I'm like an atheist. I'm spiritual. I have this belief. I don't like holy rollers. I don't fuck with them. I can't do the holier than thou. But I always had like very strong spiritual ties. But now I'm looking for like someone to tell me what the next step is, you know?
Right.
And I just I don't know.
I think that's yourself.
yeah.
That's, no one's.
I
Gonna
don't think
tell you,
any
like,
higher
yeah.
power, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's you. Whatever you feel more,
Like drawn to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
You
okay
gotta
if it takes
just
time.
Look
Mhm.
for belief in
Yeah.
the love that you have for your other children.
Mm-hmm.
Being a
Yeah.
mother.
And how you want to raise them too. Like if you want to raise them in a certain religion, you figure that out.
Well, I'm going through it.
Yeah.
Figuring it out.
And if you don't, you're still allowed on here.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Whew. So, who helped you feel safe enough
No,
to
you
agree?
didn't answer.
Oh, I didn't
I knew
answer.
she was going
I'm
to
so
do that.
sorry.
I looked at her. I said,
I'm so
"Oh, here we
sorry.
go.
Okay.
She'll skip us
So
all."
I actually did have like a few situations where it was like obviously the anxiety is one because
Mhm.
I didn't know why I had anxiety that day, but I guess from
That feeling.
your bloodline being broken, it kind of
What was this, Twilight?
it was unbelievable. Like it really was. But after he passed, like a couple days later, maybe it was before the funeral, like it was kind of really fast.
Oh, wow.
And I was like I was staying with my mom a lot, so like I went home for like one night and like had like a nap in my bed. And then I went to sleep, and like, in those first couple days you're very like numb and hazy. So I like knocked out. And I am a very vivid dreamer. Like if you know me, my dreams are either always correct or they're always like in the line of being correct. It's unbelievable. So in the dream, I was in my childhood living room, and then like my mom and my dad was sitting in the chair that he used to sit in the living room. And then I'm like, "What are you doing in here?" He was like, "I'm not." And he like, if you knew my dad, like he was a very funny person. So like he's like laughing at us. And he was like, "You idiots, I'm not dead. I fooled you."
Oh,
And then I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, oh no, it was like the day after the funeral, because he like said, I was like, "What do you mean? Like I was just at your funeral." And then he was like, "No, like I'm alive. Like you don't have to worry about anything." I was like, "This one was here." I was like, "You had a childhood friend show up that like you hadn't seen in 30 years." Like a guy walked in and said he was his best friend in like 3rd grade.
It's crazy.
And then he's like, "Oh, that's crazy." Like he's doing all this stuff, and he's like, "No, I'm alive still. Like you don't have to worry about anything." And then I woke up, and like for a split second, I was like, "Oh, holy shit, this was all a dream. He's alive." And then like within that second, I felt a whole body in my bed laying next to me. And then I felt it rise up. I felt the body, like I felt the indent as if a person was laying
Mhm.
there. I actually thought Ben was behind me. And then I turned over, the imprint was gone, and there was no one there. And then I was like, "Oh shit, it was a dream. Like he is dead." And I was like, "Fuck. Like, what am I gonna do now?
Mm-hmm.
How am I supposed to go through life now without a parent?" And it was horrible. It was a great dream. Like I was happy to see him, but I was
course.
like, "You motherfucker, you fooled me again.
Mm-hmm.
You got me."
One last fool.
Yeah, one last joke around. And I mean, he's come since then all the time. Like
It's amazing.
he'll come in like randomly in like the weirdest places. But I mean,
He was talking to my mom very early. I just was withholding it in the beginning from you because I didn't know if you were ready for that. Like my
Yeah.
mom is a medium. So
You're
like
lucky.
when um so when Katie's dad first passed, and I shared because Katie and I have been in each other's lives for a really long time, so like my mom texts her individually, like they have their own relationship. They reached out to her or whatever, and literally like a few days later my mom was like, he says this, tell Katie this, and I'm like, I don't think she's ready for
Yeah.
those messages.
Yeah.
Like, you
Like,
know what
wait
I
a little
mean? Like
bit.
Katie process is different. I didn't even know how she was doing. Like, and I felt like even as close as we are, I needed to see her
Mhm.
because she could lie through text message on phone. I needed to physically see her to be able to determine if I felt like, she was holding up or not. But eventually after a while, then I started giving the messages. And then when, some more time passed, I think you got on the phone with her, right?
Yeah.
She was able to convey some messages directly to her, but his presence was loud, quick.
Yeah, he wanted to make himself known, but he also like, if you knew him, like my dad was a very loving person, and I know like his disease he had, like you knew it eat it away with him, that like it destroyed us.
Mhm.
And like, it affects everybody's lives. Like it's alcoholism is a family disease.
My dad's an alcoholic, so
Yeah.
I get it.
So it's like it definitely like takes your toll on it. So I like, when you hear in like dreams and stuff, like I'll hear like things like, he's apologizing or saying like random things, and it's always like very like mixy dreams and all of this stuff. But like I get it, because like even though in the beginning like I was just so like angry, like I still am I hold a lot of anger towards it, and I don't like to speak about it, but I forgive him. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Like there's no like bad blood ever. Like if you, even in the first days, like if you would have asked me, like I just felt more worse for him that he was alone. But next question.
Well, here. Did you want to do something about that?
Oh no.
Okay.
Not yet. So what helped you feel safe enough to, did I do that one?
No.
Oh, yeah, what helped you feel safe enough to begin to grieve? Was there like a certain moment or anything?
Mm-mm. I didn't. I feel like I was just so overcome with the situation, like just it being so unexpected, and so I say my stepfather, I call him Ed, I go back and forth, right? I don't know why I've always done that, but he's been in my life since I was 7. My biological father checked out when I was 17, literally stopped speaking to me. Like, Ed has been the man in my life since 7. I just call him Ed.
Yeah.
Like I never got around to calling him dad, I guess.
Mhm.
Do I regret that? Yeah. But I had my own feelings towards it, right? Like my own grief, but I think I kept trying to like stuff it down because my heart hurt so bad for like my sister. Like that's her dad. And not saying that it wasn't my dad, but like it still hurts. Like that brings me to tears quicker than because I think I've made my peace. I knew that he was sick. I knew that he was tired, and I knew that he's more at peace now, right? So like I've come around to that. But like my mom losing her partner, like I can't imagine that. You know what I mean? Like I've never experienced that. God forbid. I don't know what that feels like. That was your partner for so long, um, every day together. You talk all day, every day, share a bed. Like I just can't, And then I have this weird way of overthinking everything. Um, so not only does my heart hurt for my sister, but I also think that that's such a strange dynamic for them in their grief processes because my sister's grieving one way because it's her dad. My mom's grieving another way because it's her partner. It's just, and they live under the same roof. So, like, I always overthink that in the sense of, like, that's got to be rough. Like birthdays. I flew down for their anniversary in July. And, my sister said, because he's not here, and I keep trying to, like, have conversations with her, like, it's a different type of grief for mom. And, like, one that we just don't understand. Because my mom has moments where she just goes through it, and it'll just be random. Like, she'll be watching TV, and she'll start crying, and I'm like, what's up? And she's like, I can't believe I missed that fucker. Like, that's what she says. Like, she'll be like, he fucking left, and then she's just crying because she's like, oh, he loved this show. And it comes in moments like that. Like, my sister, it comes in moments too. Like, for a long time, she didn't want anything changed in the house. And that's rough. And I always felt terrible for my mom because, like, does she want to see that every day?
Yeah.
Because does she want to clean out the stuff? And my sister's going, don't touch anything. Like there was a lot of guilt surrounding with my grief. I feel like I maybe processed my grief quicker only because I felt like maybe I had to a little bit, and it was more selfish to like spotlight myself in my grief just because I felt like it was so much heavier for them. Um, but, I have my moments here all the time because I'm by myself, so no one sees my grief. So it comes and it goes, but it's there. Like I cried buying a car. I almost cried in the dealership. First time I've ever had to buy a car, and my dad wasn't a part of it. I had like anxiety around it. Like I don't fucking understand insurance. Like why at this big old age do I not understand what car insurance is and what it fucking does? And I have moments like that where I'm like, shit. And then it was funny because I told the salesperson, I was like, don't pressure me because I'm liable to break down in the middle of your fucking dealership. You know what I mean? Like, you need to kid glove me. I'm just giving you the forewarning now. And then I was good the whole time. It was hours there. And then at the end, the fucking manager goes, I just want to let you know, I think your dad would be like really proud on how you handled yourself. And I was like, why would you do that?
Like, I was doing
why
so
would you
good.
do that? Yeah, I was like, give me my fucking keys. Like, no one asked you. But it was nice to hear, and I, those are the moments I have it. Driving in the new car, and I'm just like, I wouldn't have gotten that deal if you didn't teach me your ways. Like things like that. Like, that's when it hits me.
What about you?
Reword that question again.
When did you feel like you were able to be safe, like in your grieving?
I feel like I was grieving way before she even passed. Because a lot of people don't know, like obviously just like family and like close friends know. So before she was diagnosed with stage 3, May of 2023. Yeah. No, I'm lying. May of 2022.
That's when it starts.
She had stage 3 cancer, lung cancer, and she did immunotherapy, chemo. She got the surgery, and it was all taken out. And she was told in March of 2023 that she was cancer free. My sister got married in April. She was cancer free. October rolls around. She goes back for her 6-month checkup or whatever it was, maybe September, and they say it came back. They need to see her. So me, her, and my sister go, and they tell us it spread. So now it's stage 4. A month later or 2 months later, I get proposed to. So I'm excited. I'm with her, and I'm like, choosing when. Like, I want my date. I want a winter wedding. I want to get married in December 1st. We go to Larkfield. We do all the things. And then she goes to another doctor's appointment, and then she calls me, and she's like, I think you need to move your wedding. So I said, okay, why? Like, it didn't, like, register, and I'm like, she's like, because I don't know how I'm going to be. And thank God I did, because she passed before my so-called wedding date. I always wanted to have a tent wedding, but in the winter, it's fucking expensive with the heaters. So my mom had a huge backyard in Shirley. And I was going to do it there. And then when she told me I had to move it, I moved it to It was every month, engagement, this, that, bridal shower, everything. I felt like I was so robbed of the experience, but like I still got to experience it all. And she was there every step of the way. And she was so healthy at my wedding. Like, you wouldn't even tell that this woman had stage 4 cancer. She was beautiful. She was so healthy. I had in her backyard. I had my dream wedding. I did everything I wanted to. But I felt like from literally that moment in January when she said that to me, I've been grieving ever since. Because then a month later, I went on my honeymoon the day that I left for Italy. She got checked into the hospital because she couldn't see. And then literally, like, I almost went home. And my husband, my mom, I'm like sending her pictures. I'm in Sicily with family that I've never met before. The woman that I'm like named after, my dad's cousin. And I'm like sending her pictures and she's not answering me. And I look at her fucking location and she's at MSK in the city. And I'm like, what the fuck? And literally, I got home and she was so sick. We went to the hospital. My husband had to walk out of the room. My husband, if you know him, he looks like a fucking security guard. Like, he don't make any type of, like, he looks like the meanest guy you'll ever meet, but he's the sweetest. And he doesn't show emotions. And he looked at her. She looked completely different. Because she lost a lot of weight and she had to get, what the fuck is it? Radiation on her brain. And mind you, the whole week we're in Italy, this is happening to her. And I can't talk to her. I can't anything. Like, I almost came home. And she called me and she's like, don't you dare come home. So I literally, when I came home and saw her like that, I lost my mom. My mom couldn't text me. My mom couldn't call me. I had to feed my mom, like, literally from January 2024 to the day that she died, I've been grieving. And I feel like fucked up to say that, but like, and everyone's like, you got to, have your wedding. I'm like, but you don't understand. I had to do it because of that. And that makes me so angry that I was robbed of that. But it's like, then I think about people that don't have their moms at their weddings. But like, it just sucks either way. So I feel like ever since then I've been grieving, but then I had to put on a strong face. So I don't ever feel like I feel safe to grieve. I don't feel like that because I don't want to.
Right.
But I just know I am. I go through all the stages of literally anger, denial, crying every day. And then I'm just a complete, total fucking bitch. And like my husband, thank God for him, because he just he just lets me do what I got to do. And now being pregnant on top of it, I'm even 10 times more. So it's just like, it's going to just be the same motion, I think, for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to accept it. It's never going to be okay for me. And I'm going to feel angry all the time about it. And I'm never going to feel safe enough to grieve because I only feel safe with her.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Fucking hate it.
Fuck, man. I can't do this. That's crazy. Well, you can be safe with me if you'd like to be.
You could be safe here.
Thank you.
This is a safe place.
Oh, fuck. I grieve very outwardly. Like, everybody knows how I feel all the time. I don't like hide it. I don't like my husband. I think is really different. He doesn't do emotions. He's not how he feels. He's not like he is wrapping it all up with a bow and keeping it for himself. Where me, like you know, if I keep things inside, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like I'm gonna go batshit crazy. So I grieve all the time, really outwardly. I think that I've probably made like a little bit of a mark on like being able to grieve outwardly, and like removing the stigma from grieving. People want you to like do it really fast, you
Yeah,
know?
get over it.
Yeah. And like I see that all the time, especially with me and my husband. Like, you see like 3 happy, healthy girls, 2, people that love each other. And they're like, all right, when are you going to get over it? Like, never, like, literally never, So, I mean, I guess I made my own safe space. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Mm.
I'm going to do whatever I need to do.
But like also same. I feel that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like I don't feel safe, but I do feel safe in myself.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
yeah.
Of course. I do think you did a really
I share a lot.
Yeah, I
And I
think you
share
did a
her.
really good job at all of that. Like
Thank
I
you.
knew everything that was happening with your mom, like throughout the whole thing, right? And
I
like-
just wanted to help someone that was going through it because that's just how I've been. I'm always sharing.
yeah,
There's a lot of shit that you won't know about me,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of things that I will put out there.
well, I read something recently. And it was like people can live a private life and post all the time.
And that's me.
Me
Mhm.
too.
Like,
Like, you could do both.
mhm.
And I don't know. I think that. Then I sent you that thing from
Mhm.
fucking stupid
Alex
ass.
Cooper.
Yeah, fucking retard. I can't stand her
Yeah.
anymore. I'm done with her. After that one, I was so angry with that. Like she said something on her pod like about, I forget the exact quote, and it was like, if you're posting something about your grief but not talking to your friends, but you're asking for them to kind of like say something back to you. I don't remember what it
Mhm.
was. Hopefully
like-
pisses me off in
It's
general.
like posting. So if you put up
Po-
a post,
for a
yeah, but if you're just posting a post and then like if no one reaches out to you, like
you're gonna be mad at them.
That's
you're gonna be
not-
mad at them or something, but like you shouldn't be
You're just
posting about your
expressing
grief.
yourself.
100%. It was about something. The girl was like, "Oh, I posted something about my cat dying, and it was a cat or a dog, and like none of my
her best
said
friends
anything."
reached out to her.
Well, that's crazy.
And she was like, "Well, why wouldn't you tell your friend your cat died? Like, why are you posting it on the internet?" I had to post on the internet because I was getting text messages. Where's this baby?
Yeah. 'Cause you
When's
showed-
the
yeah.
baby coming? How the fuck was I gonna text 120 people?
I knew, like, I didn't know, but like when you went, I follow you and I saw everything that you were about, and I saw Sam's post.
Mhm.
Sam's post is what you have no idea when I saw that. And I know we've known each other for years. We've never been super close, but we have just like a bond with each other. I called Kira, and I have chills right now. I called her, I said, "Do you see?" And I felt so heartbroken. I was like, I don't even know how she's living right now. And it was because of Sam's post that I saw, and
I knew when you didn't post.
Mhm.
After a couple days, Melissa called me and she was like,
just like,
something fucking happened
Yeah.
because she didn't post anything and you posted the day before
Yeah.
when you were
Mhm.
gonna go in
Mhm.
because you did a balloon arch or some shit that weekend and you
Mhm.
were very pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh my God. And then you posted like a couple of days later or whatever. And
Yeah.
then I told you when I asked you to come on here, I didn't, you were having twins at one point a year later because you were pregnant again and you put the boy and the girl thing up there.
No, I know. Oh,
But yeah, I mean, in that situation, I wouldn't text anyone. I
No.
mean,
No.
even in
absolutely
my
not.
in my own situation, like
didn't text
I didn't
anybody.
text anyone.
yeah, but
I texted my mother-in-law. That was probably the only person.
you have to almost like it. I just think we're in 2025. Like you got to put it up there.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sending you
Well-
the mass card.
No.
Like I'm gonna put it on the internet.
My mom,
You know?
shared everything like
Mhm.
that she was going through, so I would post for her because she couldn't post. Like she was just like me, and she would have all her like prayer warriors that she called them on
Yeah.
Facebook, and she would always post. So I would always post. So then I said to my aunts, I said, I know it's not serious to you, but my mom has a lot of friends. Like to know my mom was to love her. So
Mhm.
I'm posting that she passed. and I'll post it later, and I'm gonna do it. I had my videographer make a video of my mom before.
That video killed me.
Kills me every time I watch it, and I asked him to do that like a month before she passed. I said, "Can you please like make that for me?" And he made it for me, and I knew it's fucked up. I knew that was what I was going to post when she passed because I knew it was happening. And I told my aunts, I was like, I'm posting this because I'm going to get a million fucking DMs, questions, and I don't want to answer
I
anybody.
don't want to answer.
Here you go.
Yep.
And I will post the arrangements as well. Like, that is it.
Sam was my middle,
Mhm.
and I think everybody needs that like middle person.
See how was my own
No,
middle.
no, you need that middle person. No one talked to me. Everything went through Sam. She was my bodyguard.
That's amazing.
Everything went through her.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. Meal train. Everything went through Sam. She was in the room also.
Yeah.
So like she really
That's her
witnessed
godmother,
yeah.
right?
Mhm. She really witnessed everything. And she was like, "Nope, I got it." You know, like obviously my parents were grieving like
Of course.
multiple things at once, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? And like everybody was just not well. So everything went through her. And any questions, anything. And then she would be like, "So, do you want this one to come over?" And I'd be like, "No." And she would be like, "Sorry, you can't come."
Yeah, no.
That was it.
I'm sure you can agree too. I was the person,
Right.
and I'm sure you were too. It was your dad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
I
you
was
had your
definitely
brothers.
the middle.
Yeah,
You
I
were
was
the
the
middle.
middle.
I was the middle, and I was the middle, but also, you know, like my friends really surrounded me during that time, and they
Mhm.
were kind of the middle for my other friends, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Same.
I
Yeah.
knew the people that were like, I mean, they were harassing me every day. Like, if you knew me, you knew I'm a harasser.
Mhm.
I'll like 40 text my friends until they answer. I don't like it, but they were like, you know, really surrounding me. But you know, my mom was still alive, so I was kind of the middle for her.
Certainly.
And then
yeah.
like, I don't feel safe in my grief either. I don't. I feel like I forget about it,
Mhm.
and then it will randomly like remind me that I'm parentless, and it sucks. It really does, because like your kids aren't supposed to like. It's not
Mhm.
you are, but like it's not supposed to happen while you're so young, and it's really annoying, and I'm really angry about it. But you know, I feel safe in it. Like in the first couple weeks, I was safe because I had so many loving people there for me. You know, like so many of my friends and my family really stepped up, and like even like my brothers, like neighborhood, like so many people brought us food.
Mhm.
So many people checked in on us and like really like surrounded us with love, and that was safe.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
like me and my mom, we call it Shiva. Like we sat Shiva together. But I'm not even joking you. We didn't leave her apartment for 2 months. Like my friend Lauren, like she would come and sit in the in our apartment and stuff, and just like we'd sit in the dark smoking cigs and
Yeah.
watching movies. I swear I made a list. It was probably from like the moment he passed until like the end of February. We were sitting Shiva, and we are not Jewish. But we were doing our own shiva, and people were just bringing stuff in, and they would just come and sit in the dark with us, and like it, you know, like your people really like rally around you, and that is safe.
Mhm.
But like when I had to leave that, and like the world kept moving on, and I was still stuck in my grief,
Mhm.
I felt so angry because I was like, "Why are you moving on?"
Why don't
well,
you
I
care?
feel sad.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Mhm.
I struggled too because mine was what going on 2 years, right? And then Katie lost hers, and it was weird for me, right? Because I want to be there for my friend, but it also was like it hit
Triggering.
home
Yeah.
very differently because it was both very traumatic and
Mhm.
unexpected. And Katie and I also handle our emotions very differently. So like I did have, I guess I'm a guilt-ridden bitch because I was just gonna say like I had guilt surrounding that too in the sense of like I felt like I couldn't 100% show up for that because
I don't
I'm
blame
still
you
in
though.
my grief,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
It's
And
very
not to
different.
make it a selfish thing, but
No.
like
It was tough.
you know, it was extra tough too because I had my own personal relationship with Katie's dad. Like there was a
Mhm.
couple times that I helped take care of him. I helped take care of his mom. So then him and I got close in that aspect because it would be like the three of us hanging out all day, like he used to call me randomly. you know, so it just was, for me, it felt like, damn, like two dads back to back. Not that I ever viewed, but you know, he was a father figure. He gave that energy.
Mhm.
And you know, it was rough.
Well, we're going to end this episode here because this is actually a three-parter. But if you love this episode so far and you feel safe with us in our little safe space we've created, please tune in next week because it'll be part 2 of the grief episode and it'll be us again. But we'll be back in a couple of minutes if you are watching the second week. Bring your tissues.